an assembly video for the Sawdust & Co 2 m by 1.5 m sandpit. We're going to start by assembling the main base. So you're going to have two long sides, which are 1957 long, and two short sides, which are 1500 millimeters long. So we're going to start by placing these together. Just a quick note, with the 1500 millimeter shorter side, this one here, don't get that confused with the top panel, which is this one here. The top panel you can see is different because these blocks are shorter. These blocks are the entire width, and the top panel is shorter. The other thing that is different on the top panel is it has two holes on this back edge here. Just a quick note there. So first of all, we're going to put these panels together to form the base. Alright, so I've got the long panel here, short panel here. Now if we come to this corner, these here are just going to interlock together, just like that. So as you can see, the holes on the short panel will screw through and capture this. So what we're going to do is make sure that we line these up, that we make sure the tops are nice and flush, and we're going to install these 6 screws to begin the base assembly. Cool. Once we've got that corner and the 6 screws installed, we're going to pop to the other end, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab the other short panel and install the 6 screws here. So exact same thing, we're going to place the short 1500 panel with the holes already pre-drilled. We're going to butt it into there. We're going to make sure the tops are flush when we screw it, and we're going to install those 6 screws there. Cool. Once we've got the end panel on over here, we're going to install the last long panel and fill in this gap here. And exactly the same as the last two, we're just going to pop that one in there, install the 6 screws. Once they're installed, pop to the other end, same thing, slot that together in there. The holes are pre-drilled, 6 screws, so you'll have the entire base screwed together. So this is what the base will look like, all screwed together. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to check diagonally from corner to corner to make sure this is square before we go installing the top panels and the lid. From corner to corner, we're approximately 2497 millimeters. So we just get a tape measure and we'll run that over. About 5mm tolerance is fine. So as you can see there, I've run a tape measure diagonally across there to this corner. I'm sitting right about 2497 millimeters, and I've done the same across here as well, and got that nice and square, so we can now move forward and install the top panels. Alright, so I've got a top panel here. Now if you look along one edge, you'll see there's a pre-drilled hole there and another one there. This goes to the outside edge. This top panel goes along the short width, and the underside of it, you'll see with the blocks, the gap of the blocks goes to the back. It won't fit the other way anyway. So that slots on there. As you can see, as I mentioned, the 2 holes are on this outside edge, as I'll screw in there. If you do have them on the inside edge, you've got it around the wrong way, but it won't actually fit that way anyway, so it will make sense. We're going to line up the ends nice and flush with the outside. We're going to line up this edge here nice and flush, and this end. So all 3 sides, make sure they're nice and flush, and then you can go and install the 6 screws down there, the 6 down there, and don't forget the 1 and 2 on this outside edge. Once you've got that top panel installed, you can go ahead, go to the other end and install the other top panel exactly the same way. And once both those top panels are installed, this is what you'll have, looking like this. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the assembly of the lid. Cool, so now we're going to go and take the lid with handles and seat supports, so this panel here, and just lay it on the ground. And we're going to swing these seat supports around. As you'll see, there is a pencil mark on there. We're just going to take these and just swing them around until they line up with that pencil mark. Now I have already pre-installed and removed these screws, so you'll see there's holes already there. So when you swing this round, line up that pencil mark nice and flush, put the screw in, and it should find that existing hole in there. Do that for that one, swing this one round, same thing, find that pencil line, and then install the rest of the screws. Install 7 up there, 7 up there, and then get your other panel and do exactly the same thing. Cool, so once you've got those seat supports all screwed and you've got the other one done as well, we're going to take this panel and flip it over so the handle side is facing down. So that's the flipped over handle side facing down, and we're going to take the lid with hinges and we're going to place it on top of here. So the 3 hinges are on top. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So that's the lid with hinges. Going to face it with these blocks facing up, and the 3 hinges are going to sit on top of this board here. So I'm going to slide this and butt it up. So just like that, as you can see, these butt together and the 3 hinges are sitting on top. We're going to make sure that the ends are nice and flush of the 2 pieces. It's a good idea to find something straight edge and just pop that on there, and just make sure that both ends are nice and straight, so that when it sits onto the sandpit base, these all line up nicely. Once you've done that, we're going to pre-drill, which I've already done, the holes here with about a 2.5 to 3 mil drill bit. Half a mil either way, it's not going to matter too much. It's just to stop the potential splitting. If you don't have a drill with drill bit, you can drive these screws in, but best practice is to pre-drill these. So go ahead, make sure the ends are flush, these 2 panels are butted hard together, pre-drill these and install the 3, 6 and 9 screws to complete this panel. There you go, that's the screws installed in all 3 hinges, and that panel there is what you'll be left with. Go ahead and get the other 2 pieces and repeat this step exactly the same, and then we'll go ahead and get this installed on top of the base. So what I've done here is I've flipped that panel that we just made over, so now the handle is facing up. There's a sandpit base there. These 2 hinges are on top. So with it sitting like this panel is going to transfer and sit exactly on top there. So the 2 hinges, being that one there and that one there, are going to sit on top of this panel here. So we're going to get this, pick it up and put it straight on there, and I'll show you what I mean. Cool, so I've transferred that panel directly up onto there. As you can see, the hinges are sitting nicely on there. So we're going to screw these hinges on, making sure that we butt these 2 panels nice and hard together, making sure that the ends are flush, that they line up nicely along there. Same on this side, that they line up nicely along there. We're going to go ahead and pre-drill our 3 holes for our hinges on each one, and install those 6 screws, 3 on each hinge. So with that panel there installed that we just went through, I've now got the other one, I've laid it out the same way. I'm going to lift it up and pop that on there, repeat the exact steps with the hinges, making sure it's all flush, and screwing them on. And that there is a completed sandpit. Now just a quick note, the gap through the centre is completely normal. This allows for timber tolerances and expansion and contraction as the timber gets wet. So now go ahead, grab one of your handles, open her up, check its operation, and you've got some cool seating there that converts into a lid. Hope that helps, and put your ground mat down, fill with sand, and kids are going to be over the moon. Cheers.